one side so the camera can.
I know. Yeah. Like this.
Yeah. We can't do that.
You know what? We could put a chair of any kind. We have bowling chairs out the walls there, right there for her.
You guys are
and we could be either this side or
Hey boys and ghouls, Moon Girl here. My name is Sarah Garcia, but you guys may know me as Moon Girl. And for being intuitive medium, paranormal investigator, actress, writer, producer, and for all the different divinations I do use, and you're watching the Spirit Realm Network. Today we have something really special. We're at Lavaca jail with the caregivers, Debbie and Lisa. We're gonna do a little Q&A because I love knowing the history. So if you did tune in with us yesterday, we did a little teaser of what's to come today, but today is the main event. We have a couple of things here. Also, please stay tuned because depending on how many likes and shares we get, I will be sleeping upstairs alone in the dark in the jail. Now, I will be the first woman to ever do this besides the other prisoners. So please make sure to like and share this. If we get 100 likes and shares, I will do it with the lights on, and if I get over 200 likes and shares, I will sleep in there with the lights off. So, fair game. All up to you guys. Again, I'll be the very first woman who ever does it, and yes, I am very ballsy, so I'm more than happy to do it. Once they said no one else has done it, I'm like, oh no. Like, I knew it. I gotta do it, bro. So, I love history. I love knowing history. I don't want to just go in there. Well, I went in there blindly, but I want to know the background for the audience. So please tell me a little bit of the history. All I know is that it was like made in 1885 and it was a co-ed jail, which is very fascinating to me. And it was from 1885 to 2005. So guys, very recently, we have like about 16 years gap here. So Deb, please tell me a little bit about the history.
The jail was built in 1885, closed in 2005, making it the second oldest continuously operating jail in Texas.
Love Texas, South Texas, my people.
It was operational until 2005. Twice the jail was flooded with 8 feet of water. Once in 1940, once in 1981. So eventually it got to the point where they needed more room. They wouldn't allow them to expand in this location because we're in a flood danger area. And the county wouldn't even use it for storage, so it ended up being for sale, and that's how Rita Inc. got it. Lisa and I are the property managers here who take care of it, do the restoration work. The original property...
Yes, what was it prior to the jail?
The original property, there was an old house that belonged to Marshall D.W. Merritt, who lived here for, I swear I don't know how many years, but he donated the property for the jail to be built. And it was built connected to his house. So you could walk from his house straight into the jail. So traditionally, sheriffs always lived here with their families. So that back house was still utilized for living room space, kitchen, kids' bedrooms probably.
So I did get child energy prior to, sorry to interrupt you, but prior to this, I spoke to her and gave her a reading over the phone, hoping to connect with energies here through her, which we did do, and then we did another one yesterday. So we're also going to talk about that, see how it coincides, if any. But since she did mention children, I got children, so I'm pretty sure there was children here.
There are a lot of children. Yeah. But that house went away in the 1981 flood. And at that point, sheriffs were no longer living here with their families. So it was replaced with a tin manufactured building primarily for kitchen, laundry, and additional administrative space. So a lot of people report getting activity back there. Sorry, Jim. And picking up children back there because that was once their home. And we had an early sheriff, John Hutchins, who had 6 children. 2 of his children's funerals were in that house right there.
His daughter Maud was born in that house, died in that house, and had her funeral in that house.
So he kept getting girl in the reading.
Yeah, when we were talking, you kept getting the children.
Yeah, I felt it. And I was like,
why is the old house now?
I was like, why is there children? I know it's a jail, but okay.
But it was always a co-ed jail because it was the county jail. It was the only jail there was, so And up until, I think we found 1923, there were a number of public hangings done here. There was a gallows.
Another story about that.
There is a it was a gallows, not anymore.
Not anymore.
And a certain area of the yard where we sleep later became an EMS office, and we found 23 public hangings that took place here.
That's a lot.
There were a number of deaths custodial deaths upon that we found here. A few alleged suicides, some unexpected.
Alleged.
Yeah, heavy on the alleged. But you know, this was a small Wild West kind of town. It was in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, I had no idea.
In 1913, it was the only city in the world that had 13 letters in its name. We had 13 saloons around the square.
13 brothels.
With 13 newspapers.
Go Texas!
Oh, Hallettsville.
There was a newspaper for every saloon. Yeah, 13 churches, saloons, newspapers. And we're fledgling to find one. But it was small town justice, a lot of cattle rustling, a lot of rough cowboys. So you know that a lot of bad things probably happen here.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit more about how the flood affected the jail and the closing, not only the closing of it, but what it actually did, to the jail.
Yeah, in 1940, the first big one that had any information on, there were a number of lost laws. The jail was built with 8 feet of water. Of course, none of this was here. It was just the original jail building in the house. But somehow they lived through it. On our search for original jail records, I showed you we have one of the ledgers from 1927 to 47, and went through every county thing there was to try to find the first one, which we can only assume was lost in that original flood, because these floods weren't gradually coming up where anybody knew. Jim, so that house went away back there in 5 minutes. They had no warning, and even in 1981, they didn't have the weather data capabilities I guess they do now.
And they had the deputies getting the prisoners out of the windows in the front because they were spending time together and getting them out the front.
They had to, former deputies said we had to tie prisoners together upstairs with ropes, get them down the stairs through our old break room windows to that hill across the street. And no, can't imagine
8
doing
feet
that.
came up real fast. So,
Yeah.
It does, but because of where it is and its proximity to the possibility of that happening again, the county would not expand here or even use it for storage. So we salvage and save history and historic buildings. So
And they did a great job.
I've been working on it for 6 years and transforming it into the original facade, a museum to promote history awareness for the community.
Lots of blood, sweat, and tears.
They're amazing guys, by the way. Thank you again, Debbie and Lisa. They were so sweet. I instantly fell in love with them. As soon as I heard her voice when I got here, I was like, oh my God, I love them. They're so awesome, sweet, and they take care of this place. They put a lot of work here. Yes, absolutely.
Just so you know, you won't be leaving tomorrow. We're going to lock you in a cell.
Thank you.
Keep you here.
No, when I first got here, I was instantly drawn to the backyard. And I was like, I feel there's something here. So please tell us about the history of the backyard. What was the backyard?
Well, the backyard, these downstairs cells that we're in right now were newer modern cells that were added adjacent to the original structure of the jail in 1976.
It's like a 100-year span between them.
Oh, wow. That's a hot minute. Very cool.
So then the outside backyard was added. But some of the history that I've read and looked at, there's a lot of small town legendary and stories passed down, and some of those included, think of it as you got a small town jail, one sheriff, you got a police force yet, you might have a deputy, probably not, but your job is to, whatever prisoner you have, take care of him all day, feed him, And you know that there were a lot of people that you end up in a town like this where nobody knows you, nobody even knows you're here. Your chances of survival sometimes were probably pretty slim. So I've had stories told to me of people being drugged through the backyard to the river and just floating away.
Which runs right behind the back.
Runs right behind the
cemetery
backyard.
back there at one time.
Until the 81 flood and washed away.
Yeah. So.
I had a psychic here, and it's funny because when you called me, our first conversation, and she said this distinctly, she's going through things you see. She says, so I see like 2 law enforcement officers in the backyard, and somebody's dead, and they didn't mean to do it.
Sounds about right.
I'm gonna cry. But I had a psychic here that told me that same thing, that things got out of hand, that they killed someone accidentally, and this was probably, I'd say in the 1800s, but that knowing that they were filled with remorse over it, you know, and trying to bury him in the backyard. And it was just so weird that you came up with that same exact story, and I've never told that to anybody.
I didn't know any of this. I didn't even know this place existed.
A lot of people don't.
Our pipes froze and broke recently and washed away a bunch of the backyard. And I had a friend of mine, Joe, come over and help me level it out a bit. And I'm like, please don't dig up a body.
Oh, but I can get the deer bones.
It's like 2 more feet. I'm like, yeah, just stop. And I really believe that I would not be surprised to find bodies buried in the backyard.
No, there's stuff there.
Or,
there's definitely stuff there. I kind of want to poke around sometime. Maybe on our next trip.
You know, there were tragic things like that that happened because it was common place back then. A lot of things you won't find any records of because, as I've been told, some of us don't like paperwork. Things were lost in the flood. Things were lost in a fire, not here, but a county records fire when county seat changed from one place to here, Petersburg to here. It was like a feud.
And they don't like paperwork.
They don't like paperwork. But, yeah, I mean, you know, in a place like this, it's going to be haunted just for the simple fact that it's a jail. No one's happy here. A lot of tragic things are going to happen. Abuse is going to happen.
A lot, which I did feel and I picked up a lot of abuse.
But when you get into a place this old and you know the state of the town from back then, it's just like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. And yeah, this has never been a disappointment.
No, never.
On our way over here, like after the airport, I told Jim, the owner of the Spare Room Network, shout out to Jim, love him. He's so awesome and amazing, super talented. I just love him too. I told him I keep seeing fire. I saw fire and I go, oh, I know it has nothing to do with me. I knew it had something to do with you guys. So I came here and I'm like, okay, I got fire. So tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, sorry. I hear people's voices.
All right, so I wasn't going to tell you this story.
Go ahead. Which story?
So we have a friend who had a very disturbed property, not in Houseville, but on the outskirts here. It's what actually brought me up here in the first place several years before I even knew the jail was there. They had an old hanging tree on their property, and they had a lot of paranormal activity happening on their property, and her husband's kind of hot-headed, I guess you'd say. So there's an old hanging tree out there. And he gets upset one night and decides he's going to burn it down. And she calls me like, "Did Joe just set the hanging tree on fire?" No, yeah, you should.
Abort. Go get a hotel.
You should move right now. So anyway, she brought me a couple of
pieces of the hanging
pieces.
The burnt pieces.
The burnt pieces from the tree, and she said, "I just wonder if
anybody will pick up
A, you're interested, or you know, if you'd like to have these in the jail just for some of the experiments you do or something."
Absolutely.
So we placed those around.
And it wasn't that long ago.
And I forgot where they even are. But it's funny
first thing you
because
said, and we were talking about
we were talking about right before you pulled in, and she said, "I wonder if she'll pick up anything on these burnt pieces of the hanging tree." And you go, "Oh yeah, I got this fire." And we looked at each other, and I mean,
and you were thinking something else, and that, but my mind immediately went to that.
Yeah, I had a spontaneous fire while you were out there. Nothing to do with this. Yeah.
I also got, and I told Jim too, I go, because I work with my chokers and stuff, and I told you too, I go, I feel, and when we're outside, right, where you sleep, I was like, I feel like this is itching and scratching and it's choking me. It's not
But you should say that for the gallows.
The gallows are right there, guys.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to give you guys another little reading, and then we'll get into more of the stuff from the other readings that I gave you, and then we'll do this one and just put it all as a puzzle and see what the hell resonated, right?
Yeah.
The
So
missing pieces.
There are a lot of missing pieces.
Yeah.
She's already given me though a lot of confirmation on things that I've already gotten.
letter K could be of significance here, but we'll see. No. And sick. In an earlier reading that I gave you yesterday, I got sick. And I got the Wheel of Fortune with it. To me, somebody died of a sickness. And it's just showing back again. So let's see. And we'll get into that. Okay. D, K, D, so those letters could be of significance as well, but we'll look into it with tarot. P, DP. That kind of feels more right to me. DP, PD, PD.
PD, police department. We've got another police department through.
Oh, okay. What else? Tell me about this. Please talk to me. Please talk to me. Actually, does anybody want to talk? Does anybody want to talk? Guys, if you don't know, we are in a cell right now, okay? And there has been a couple of things that happened in the cell and the ones next to us. So we're hoping to get something. I'm sorry. They're stuck here. Which we did get a lot of yesterday as well.
We did.
We got a bunch. Even on the upstairs when I did the reading over there. Let's see. You want to say anything else? I'm also feeling hot. Not like hot because it's hot in here. I'm feeling like a sense of heat. Do you want to talk to us, please? Does anybody in here want to talk? Does anybody in here want to talk? Through the cards, please. I keep seeing this card. It hasn't come out, but I'm just going to get a side note, unfinished business. It keeps showing itself to me. Let's see if it comes out. Does anybody want to talk? Does anybody want to talk? Okay. Can you feel me? I did feel him touch me yesterday in my leg, but it wasn't in a forceful, ugly way. It was like very curious. Very curious. So let's mess around with some of these. Actually, I kind of want to mess around with this, and then we'll do some tarot. This is one of the cards that came out yesterday. It was unfairness, which I felt like it was unfair treatment. Yeah. I do feel, and I've told you this before, that there was definitely people being taken advantage of here. And the guards, sheriffs, they were definitely taking advantage of here. I do feel rapes.
I'm sorry.
Look, you see? Lost secrets, and it fell right on top of I'm sorry. I do feel that they definitely took advantage of everyone, but especially the women upstairs. They definitely did. They had their way with the women there. They even let them go amok with some of the prisoners as well.
That wouldn't surprise me.
We were amazed at how many women were actually prisoners here when we started looking through the ledger. And some of the names were the same, like, frequently, so.
Nightmares, and it fell right on the P. So there could be a letter P of significance or DP, like we were talking PD. You can tell this looks like chains on here, like handcuffs. You guys can tell. So definitely, and I've always said this, that this up here always looks like bars to me. It reminds me of bars. So definitely nightmares. You could be, and I told you this yesterday, I feel like they visit you through your dreams. But what I'm getting more here with that is, there was definitely no sleep here, basically. Like you had to keep an eyeball out. Wise old man. Okay, so somebody here may know the truth about something. An elder, someone who's been here, who might still be alive. I feel like they know, like they kept a secret. They kept secrets here.
I'm sure.
Thought plans. Look in this water.
Yeah.
Someone stuck here because of the water with the flood. What else, please? What do you want to tell us, please? Disagreements. There's definitely disagreements here. This, look, funny that it's lost secrets. I'm sorry, wise old man, and good gossip. You see, I told you. He's keeping secrets. Definitely. I wonder who this is. Anything else? Good health. Can you feel me? Disagreements. I kind of feel like, to be honest, someone came in here one way and left a different way.
Good health and
left dead.
I'm sure some of that happened.
Travel problems. Someone here had problems with their legs here. Somebody else moved here. They moved him here. Good transformation. Good parties. Well,
That'd be us.
that'd be you guys. No, I just feel like there was something that led them to come here, which we did get with you earlier, the other day when I told her, when I spoke to her, I said I felt like somebody got hit in the head. And I felt like it was like a younger guy. And I felt like nose, like bleeding. And I heard, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I was just out having fun. I was just out at a party. And then you told me
Which
what.
fits right into
Absolutely does.
the whole Cody story of a young guy who's like
Is it Cody with a K or a C?
I don't know. It was pre the ledger that we have access to, but
Just interesting that we.
the information that we got was he was a young cowboy, not a gunslinger, but was hit in the head with a beer bottle or a whiskey bottle in a saloon on the square and was brought here for a bar fight and died from that head injury like the next day. But he's been very mischievous.
He was young though.
Yes.
Yeah, very young.
He was young because I told you in also another reading, I was like, I was just a kid. I was just a boy.
Yeah, I'm thinking he was like 18.
Yeah, very,
something like
very
that.
young, a baby. I have a 15-year-old. I mean, to me, they're babies.
Or maybe even Horace, who was killed on a runaway horse.
He was killed when he was 8 years old. Sheriff John Hooch's son was 8 years old. Ironically, his name was Horace and killed by a runaway horse. His funeral was here, but he did not die on his property.
But I'm wondering, if you fall off a horse.
I don't know what kind of injury that he had. But, I mean,
That was a long time.
The Cody thing was certainly described like a major gash in your freaking skull. And
I felt a headache, and prior to that, I had done a live on my Facebook Live page, and I got the same thing, a head injury, somebody hurt from the head, and I was like, okay, that's just my life. So when I spoke to her, I got the same energy again. So I'm like, this is the same, trying to communicate.
I know that guy.
Because I also got people who did resonate with it on my live. So I was like, okay, it's just for them.
Yeah.
But the same energy
you
when
really
I talked to
described him
her, I was like, the head, young. This fell out right now. We have the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So someone here basically is, and can you feel me? Very upset, an ugly, ugly person. Quite emotional and angry here. This is what I'm getting. I kind of feel the king, he's of authority, in which I did tell you earlier that I felt like there was, in other readings, I felt like there was somebody of authority who was basically a very narcissistic, horrible person, okay? And I do think that he definitely hurt a lot of people on purpose, for sure here. And I want to be able to speak the truth of what I feel, because I feel it's important for the spirits here to know that I know the truth, and they feel like they had no voice, and they couldn't say anything because they were of authority. I know the truth. There was a sheriff, there was here guards who were hurting them, who were taking advantage of them, who did kill them. So that's the truth. Take it how you want to take it. By the way, here you are.
In most old-timey jails, I mean, there's going to be some history of that.
Speaking of which, we have Hangman, which is Pisces energies, which also signifies a traitor. They view him as a traitor because he should have been here to serve and protect, which did not happen, and we did get that yesterday as well. So let's see. Abundance in reverse, 3 of Cups. Celebration my butt. No, this was horrible. This was a horrible place for them. Ace of Coins in reverse, yes. No growth here, obviously. Endings. This was for some of them final call, basically. Final call. Kind of want to do a small little shell. There's much more to the shell readings, guys, and I've just explained myself to you, about this. But since we're in a line, I'm going to do a very short one. There's usually 16 shells. Well, you can do more. To be honest, it comes out to 14 outcomes because the 2 last ones are roll the dice again. But let's see what we get. I already hear stuck. Yeah, stuck. That's basically what it means. And also, I feel like someone feels like there's just no way out. Someone's definitely scared to cross over because of the consequences, which we did talk about yesterday as well. And this is someone losing all hope, but there's still like a little room for, how do you say, someone can still move forward, but I feel this is a fear. A lot of fear. I kind of, hold on. Please, something else. Talk to here, please. Talk to here. I keep seeing you. Before we leave. Warning. Alone. There's others people here. And watch out. Maybe watch out for tonight.
I know you're going to be alone upstairs. Not worried. Not worried. You got my number. Call me me.
So again, guys, thank you so much. This was. Oh, well, let's talk a little bit about. Do you want to talk a little about yesterday's cards? Tell me a little bit. Did any of that resonate with you?
I mean, it was so much so fast. But the one thing that I remember, a lot of it came up about the abuse of authority figures and everything. And she says, "So you dream about this place a lot?" Yeah, I sure do. And she said, the spirits are telling me they try to come to you through these dreams. This kept me up for a while, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
So, and I've talked to her, I have dreams about the jail constantly. And it's always us coming up here, and there's these people here, and I don't know where they came from, they're not supposed to be here, you gotta get out of here.
Really quick, how does that dream make you feel? Because it's just as important.
Angry. Because this is our place, you're trespassing. I don't know who you are, you have no right being here. And I'm screaming at them, but it's like when you try to run in a dream, you can only do this so much. It's like I can't verbalize with them. And so when you said they come to your dreams, and I'm like, so what if these people that I dream about being there, and I'm upset that they're there, are really the spirits that are here that are trying to let me know they're here. So I'm trying to throw my people out, not knowing that maybe it is those people who belong here who are trying to, I don't know, communicate would be better through a dream, because it's never anyone that I know. And once I started thinking about it, it's like there was one. It was like I was at they were going through a costume thing because it was clothing out of character
from years
being here. So when you said that, I'm like, I'm not going to reevaluate my whole life.
Well, we'll work on it. There's other things we can do that will help you out better tonight. But again, thank you guys so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Again, fall in love with them.
It
They're
is a
wonderful.
blessing to have you here.
Oh, it was my
And
pleasure.
you come back, girl, anytime.
My pleasure, Lisa, Debbie. I instantly fell in love with them. Check out Lavaca Jail, guys. Their website.
We're on Facebook, on
Facebook.
Instagram.
Plug whatever you want to plug. Check out the t-shirts. Get a
Haunted
t-shirt.
Lavaca County Jail.
I need one. I need one. I'm gonna get one, and I'm gonna take pictures. So thank you so much, guys. Love you so much.
Thank you very
And
much.
stay tuned because we're gonna come back with
And
more
we'll be
stuff.
rooting for you to get some
Yeah, and remember, guys, the
Share.
lights on in the share. So I can sleep upstairs alone tonight, guys. With the lights on or off, up to you. Your call. And as always, stay magical.
Hey, I want you to do this room real quick. Just go around.
Want to do it right now?
Yeah, do it now.
Okay.
We can talk tonight.
What do
So,
you-
yeah.
All right. So do
Just
I
go
get up?
on to the next- Yeah, all in.
But you don't need us for that, right?
No, you guys.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Thank you, doll. It was.
Let's put her in orange scrubs.
I know, we
handcuffs
should.
on her, And see what we can make
Throw her
her.
upstairs.
I don't know if I can get up from here or not. What do you think?
Thank you.
Might need a tow truck. A swing. Alright, well, I can run outside if you need anything else.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it off?
No, hold on. Go, you want to go to the next room? I'll follow you. I'm gonna pop it out here at the top and we'll go. We are mobile. You can take questions too.
Should we do the very first one or the one right behind us? Okay.
Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Yo, you go ahead. I'll follow you. I'm following you.
I will follow him. Wherever he
I
may
follow you. Let's set you over here. It's dark in here.
You should probably put the camera right in front of me then, no?
This is good right here. Get you set up. Check out this room real quick. Okay. Why don't you scoot down a little bit to face the camera this way?
Going this way?
Yeah, but down further on the other side of the cars.
Oh, okay.
Get you set up. It's live, so this is what we have to do.
Yeah, this probably works out
Okay.
better.